Well, hello, good evening, and welcome to our Sunday night broadcast. We have a phenomenal guest tonight, and it's really interesting because he's in deepest, darkest North Wales, and Dan and I are here in sunny Florida, where the sky is blue, the sun is shining, and it's 88 degrees Fahrenheit. What that is in Celsius, I have no idea. I'm too old. I don't do Celsius. But on with the show, as they say. Tonight's special guest, National Group Leader Robin Brooks. Dan and I were fortunate to know Robin and his good lady wife, Cal. And we sat down with them, and over lunch actually, and propositioned them with this opportunity, and they said yes. And Robin has built, alongside of his wife Cal, a significant business, which is huge. Well, actually, it's big. No, it's massive. It's absolutely bigly, hugely massive. But enough from me. What I'd like to introduce to you is introduce you to my very good friend Robin. And Robin, if you would be so kind as to sort of just to start off with, if you would, please tell your story. Robin.
Thank you, Clive. Thank you. And gosh, Clive, that lunch was probably some 17 years ago, so that's quite a timescale. And you talk about being in a different time zone, and yes, North Wales is definitely in a different time zone to sunny Florida. But I guess everyone who's listening or watching this this webinar, we're all in our various time zones, but the one zone we're definitely in is the success zone. This business is allowing all of us to be successful over whatever period of time we wish. Background, formal background, I trained as a teacher. I trained as an English teacher. When I was teaching down in London, I met Cal, my wife. A lot of people are aware and have met Cal. She was a special needs teacher. That's I often say that's why she married me. And I often get a laugh in some instances, but that generally we met some. Yeah, thanks for that delayed reaction.
I have heard that before, Robin. You know.
Yeah, and that was some 27 years ago then that we met. So over time, ladies and gentlemen, I've got involved with this business. My other formal background is as a farmer, so we worked a farm as well as teaching, as well as a lot of other business interests. So we were interested in multiple streams of income, I think, before we got involved in the world of network marketing. Had a taste of network marketing some 18 years ago, 19 years ago. That's where we kind of first came across each other, I think, Clive.
Yes.
And then subsequently was introduced to Telecom Plus PLC, the utility warehouse. Since then, it's been a magical journey. Has it been easy at all times? Probably not, if I reflect back, but as with a lot of things in life, you remember the good times, you don't always remember the bad times or the tough times. This business has evolved and grown with us, and we've in turn grown with the business. Some 17 years later and 3 children later, we are national group leaders, and it's 50,000+ group customers. And yeah, it's a great business. It's had a great impact on us in terms of lifestyle. We've stepped away. Hi, Di. We've stepped away from the world of teaching, and I guess that crossover from the world of teaching to the world of network marketing and utility warehouses, it blends nicely.
Okay, so you mentioned that you now have 3 children.
Yeah.
I know one of them is in the business.
Correct.
Well,
let me share with you our 3 children at present. We've got Saffron, who's 23 years of age. She works for the cosmetic company Clarins, but also very much works part-time with this fabulous business. And I believe, as with lots of things in life, with children especially, the process of osmosis has gone on in terms of the world of network marketing, the world of utility warehouse. They've been brought up in this world of happy, smiley, proactive people for many, many years, and that process of osmosis has gone on. They've got involved with network marketing at an early stage, and as soon as that opportunity arose where they could be involved with our business, they've jumped in with great great zest. So Saffron works a business part-time alongside her full-time occupation with Clarence. We've then got Jasmine. She's 20 years of age. She's presently over in Australia. She's in Perth, Australia, but again has a distributorship, has an interest in the business, has a passion for it, but of course her travels at the moment are her priority and her quest for to become a midwife. That's her next target. And then we've got Sol. He's just passed his driving test, so beware all drivers in North Wales. He's 17 years of age. He's a little young to join the business, but his heart's already in it, and he's already thinking in terms of, why would I want a proper job? I can do what mum and dad do. I can do what all these other people do. And he loves the business with a passion, and I suspect, yes, he will become an authorised distributor at the age of 18.
Fantastic. It's quite interesting to see how families of distributors that have really applied themselves to this business do get involved. You know, we've had exactly the same thing with David and with Paul. And osmosis is probably a really good word for it, really.
Yeah, I thought you'd be impressed with that word, Clive, so I thought I'd bring that out of the... I used to, do you know, up until about 3 or 4 weeks ago, I used to call it chip off the old block, and some people understood what I meant, and others had no idea what I was talking about, which is often the case with me. But the process of osmosis is definitely the one that's probably the best way to describe it, I think. Yeah, it's a good one.
So do you think we could apply osmosis, to use that term, you know, in building a distributorship by surrounding yourselves, ourselves, with people?
I think, what do they say, Clive and I? They say you are the sum of the 5 people you mix and associate with. And I guess that's another way of wording it. I guess it's, if you mix and mingle with positive, proactive, forward-thinking, maybe even people, if you're just looking purely in monetary terms, looking at people who are earning perhaps a little more. Maybe it's the buddy process as well, that you're looking to mix and mingle with people who are equal to you, but also people you aspire to be something similar. Maybe in this business you could equate it to, I'm sitting here as a team leader, or I'm sitting here as a qualified distributor. I'm going to mix with other qualified distributors, but I'm also going to seek out some other team leaders and some senior team leaders. And so therefore that pulls you up. It encourages you to aspire to greater things. And I think that's a great part and parcel of our business. You are the sum of the 5 people you mix and associate with in so many ways.
The power of home meetings as well, but that's another topic. I know, Dan, that you've recently returned from Las Vegas, and I know the phrase normally is, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, but I think we ought to break that rule because some very eloquent posts on Facebook on which can be seen actually if you search it on this page here.
That's the one,
Robin's written some really eloquent stuff. But give us a flavour of what happened to you with Vegas, why you decided to go.
Yeah, sure.
Got there, you know, the flavour of it.
And were you sceptical maybe before, obviously, you went, because it's an investment in your time and money?
Sure, and I think, Diana, you sum it up well. I think, first of all, I apologise for a little bit of jet lag, because yes, I'm probably in a slightly different time zone as well. I went to Las Vegas. It was literally last weekend, so I am newly back. I arrived back, I think, late Wednesday, early Thursday. It was an incredible trip, and they say, don't they, that what happens in Vegas should stay in Vegas or should stay on Facebook, one or the other anyway. But this information, or the information I picked up, it was at the Eric Worre breakthrough event. We had the privilege of being in the company not only of Eric and his lovely wife Marina, but also in the company of Stephen Longworth and a number of other notable leaders and movers and shakers in Utility Warehouse, and that was great company. Anywhere where there's a gathering of UW distributors to me is great association, great atmosphere. So Vegas in that company is good anyway. I had the privilege of bumping into and having a chat with Jordan Adler, Beach Money, so I'm name dropping, and I make no apologies for doing that. And there's a couple of other notables who we met up with during the course of the 4-day workshop. The workshop was in Eric's Skyline penthouse suite, right at the end of the strip, looking down on the strip, in fact. And I went there. Yeah, I suppose I was skeptical. I was reserved. I was wary about not the investment so much, but I don't like recommending things unless I validated them myself. I wanted to make absolutely certain. I'd had the privilege of meeting up with Eric and his family at Express Day. I'd met up with him not only at front of stage, but also behind the stage. And I found him to be a very honourable, very ethical, and a very open individual. In some ways, quite shy as well. That's quite interesting because he was quite an introspective guy. Yeah. And I can relate to that, I think, a little bit. So I talked to him there, but I wanted to make certain that people were investing, I was investing in something that was going to be life-changing, something that would allow me to get to the next level. And you'd say, well, hang on a minute, that's a bit crazy because you're a national group leader already, you're well established in the utility warehouse. Does Robin Brooks, does Stefan Longworth, do other people need to be encouraged to get to the next level? But it's back to that kind of, that other quote, I suppose, not only the sum of the 5 people, but also your income will seldom ever exceed your personal development. And I think my personal development had got to a point where it was still developing, but maybe it was coasting a little bit. Maybe I was getting just a little too comfortable. And so that 4-day experience in Vegas has very much encouraged me to strive for the next level, to realize I can be the best I wish to be. I don't have to settle for a certain level. I can go and aspire to whatever level I wish. And I also came back with things like 18-month plans. I came back with the idea that I can achieve greater things than I've already achieved. And this, for me, some of you will know that, you know, in some ways I'll play the part. I will be very supportive to lots of different people. I'm a great believer this business is about building relationships, about supporting people, about aspiring to greater things. But if you can also then lead and develop yourself to get to the next level, to believe that there are no boundaries, there are no self-limiting beliefs that can stop you, then anything is possible. Literally anything is possible. I've always believed with a passion this business will allow people to flourish and develop to any level they wish. But the great thing about going to an event such as the Eric Worre breakthrough, and this is not me doing a marketing spin for him, it's very much my reflection on last weekend. It has allowed me to come back home and to believe not only can I, but also all members of the team, if they wish to move to the next level, if they wish to get to national network leader in this business, it is perfectly possible. This is very, very achievable. But don't allow distractions to get in your way. Don't allow people's conditioning. Don't allow self-limiting beliefs. Don't allow lack of self-belief to stop you. And you know, every now and then, even the most successful people have those moments of doubt, have those things that perhaps just come into the mind to distract you. And I picked up a quote. I'll claim it as my own now, of course, Clive, but I picked up a quote while I was away. In terms of distractions, all distractions are equal. Yeah. All distractions are equal. Whatever is going on in your mind, those games that play, in your inner mind, if you program your mind to success and to achieve anything it wishes, it knows no difference. But equally, if you program your mind and put viruses in your mind and viruses in your mindset, and you believe you can't achieve certain things, that's exactly what will manifest itself. So it's quite a paradigm shift, maybe a bit of an epiphany, maybe it's a kind of a changing moment for me. And I believe that line in the sand, that stake in the ground moment probably occurred about three days ago for me. So watch this space. The proof will be in the pudding, is how quickly Cal and I move now to National Network Leader. And it's how quickly other people in the team, including other people I bumped into while I was there in Vegas, how quickly they respond. But I think they're going to. It's going to be quite an incredible sea change that is going to occur now over the next few weeks and months.
You spent some one-to-one time. You all had one-to-one time, didn't you? Did you find that useful, Robin?
I found it very useful. I think you've got to put in your mindset that, you know, if I'd have had the opportunity to have one-to-one time with Jim Rohn, I'd have done it, no question. Yeah. And at the end of the day, Jim Rohn has touched us in so many ways, and yet you look and analyse what he actually did. The books there's a limited number of books out there in circulation, and there's a small number of recordings, but they've made a phenomenal. You measure that against the impact that Eric has already done in terms of his video links, in terms of his book, in terms of his productions, in terms of his other deliveries, and you think, okay, this is a golden opportunity to touch base with somebody who is on a mission. There's no question about that. He is on a mission, and he's passionate about bringing network marketing to the fore and championing it in so many different ways. And the other thing I want to mention to everybody who's listening and watching, he is highly he holds utility warehouse in very, very high regard. And bear in mind, he has a vantage point. He's looking at sorts of different businesses. So the one-to-one time is a golden chance for me and for others to really interact with somebody who is obviously at the forefront of the world of network marketing. So that was important for me. But secondly, you look at it and you think in terms of, gosh, how many Eric Worres are there? There's only one Eric Worre. You might well be the Eric Worre, and that will happen and evolve in time. You might well be the leader of your team in the future, and they'll listen to every word you have to say. But for me to get time interaction with somebody such as Eric was phenomenally powerful.
Well, thank you for sharing that in such intimate detail. And I understand. I think I understand exactly the sort of thing that you're talking about, because Dan and I, we were very privileged that when we first started in this business.
Well, me more so than you.
Well, I'd already been involved before you, and I'd had the experience, and I was able to get Dan involved as well. I've actually been personally mentored by Jim Rohn, and of course he's sadly no longer with us. He would be a great age if he was. And Eric, I think, has done a lot of good. The other interesting thing, too, is obviously you were part of a group of people who are all involved in our group, our team, and
yes.
Your individual team as well. And we've had another breakout, which is finishing today, I think, isn't it?
Yeah.
And there's another one coming up in December. But obviously, you guys who were there, I dare say you must have got some time to discuss how you were going to share this information with your respective teams. So what's your plan for that, Robin?
Okay. My plan for that is, it's easy to say, look, you should have been there, or if you could have been there. But again, reflecting back on what I just said prior to the question, the reality is there is only one Eric Worre, so there's going to be a limited number of people who are going to get this kind of one-to-one interaction. For me, that was very, very important. I was quite envious, Clive, of the fact that you'd had that opportunity to be mentored and to have that one-to-one interaction with Jim Rohn. That's something I was never possible for me, because obviously you're considerably older than I am. I say that. Sorry, I didn't mean that. I'm joking. So my plan now is this, and it's already started. And some of my posts were kind of subtle ways of me trying to share some of the excitement and some of the positivity and some of the shifts that were going on in my mind. But I'm also a great believer you don't release all your treasures all at once. So if I came bounding into a certain environment and said, look, Eric Worre's told me this, he's taught me that, he's taught me the other. We've got to bear in mind this was built up over a very intensive 4-day period. So the way I want to kind of roll it out is I'm going to do a couple of things. First of all, we're picking up on David's blast opportunities and his bursts and all these other activities that he's been doing prior to last weekend. And I pre-arranged one already up in North Wales. I know Rod Bowden's pre-arranged one. I know some other people have pre-arranged them around the country. So we've got one coming up at the end of this month. And David and I have already spoken about just adapting it and changing it, given the kind of fine-tuning that occurred last weekend. So we've got that penciled into the diary. Before that, I've actually got my leaders, quite a number of leaders, these are senior team leaders and above, who are meeting up, so I can just share with them some of the background, some of the content of what was covered at the Eric Worre Breakthrough Weekend. So I want to cover some of that. I'm going to refer back to my notes and pick up on the detail of that. But I'm also not only, it's not just going to come from me, it's going to come from people like John and Yvonne Denman who are there present. It's going to come from people like Derek and Angela Thomas, who are senior group leaders who are there and present. It's going to come back from Mark Pavey, who's a group leader who was present. So we're going to get quite a lot of feedback from a number of different sources, so it's not just going to come from me, so that they at least know that it's not just my viewpoint. I haven't just become part of a cult or a belief system that is alien to others. So I want to share and release those treasures gradually to the team leaders. At the same time, I'm rolling out quite systematically the idea and the concept of developing a certain approach of gathering customers. And Clive, I'm happy to talk a bit more about that, but I think that's maybe something you might even want to reserve for another day. But this idea of getting appointments not only for customers but for potential distributors, filling up the appointment schedule, and we trialled that over in Vegas. I know the last group have trialled it while they've been out in Vegas, and I know there's another group going out in December who are going to trial that, and I think you're probably going to be trialling it at Mastery. He's going to be releasing it to the world of network marketing, this concept, this way of gathering and creating lots and lots of appointments for new distributors and also for more established ones. So
that's something, if I may interrupt you there, Robin, that we do have a plan to actually roll that out to the entire organisation. It's going to go through the medium of the leadership within our group that are doing home meetings, and will be supported through this platform, this broadcast platform that we're doing on a fairly regular basis. And the plan that we have is that as people are coming back from these breakthrough events now, you know, you're one of the key leaders alongside of stepping along with, we've also got a huge business, and others that are already there. Now that you guys are coming back to the UK, you're cementing your plans, you're doing the do, we're showing the results. Now is the time to start really pushing this and rolling this out in some detail to our group. And as I said, we'll be doing it through the medium of home meetings, larger meetings, and through this particular platform, through interview strategies such as this.
Yes. No,
but Dana, please do.
I'd like to ask you a question, Robin. For those people that are listening in today, who maybe have been in the business a year, 2 years, maybe even 3, 4, 5 years, what would you say to them if they were sort of feeling it's just not happening for me? Would you share with them that, you know, you have the belief, like I have the belief, that anybody can start today, can't they? Even if they've been in the business 5 years and not a lot have happened, they can start today.
I think, Diana, I would echo exactly what you said, because, you know, things that are worthwhile having in life tend often to be a little bit tough at times. You can be frustrated. You've got to manage your frustrations, but it's not plain sailing. You know, the winds will blow and they'll knock you about a bit, and it's pretty rough. And you know, but something else that became very apparent last weekend to me. So many people spend most of their lives blaming something, blaming the government, blaming other people, blaming the system, blaming their friendship group, blaming their locality. I live in an area where it just doesn't seem to work, blaming their work colleagues, blaming their family, blaming. And you know, there's a very simple answer to that. It's a bit of a tough one, but fix it. Just sort it out. Fix it. You know, instead of blaming other people, instead of blaming your lack of skill at customer gathering, go to training and fix it. Instead of blaming the fact that you can't recruit or build a team or develop a business, fix it. Go to training and do it. And repeat it. Go and read the good books. Go and listen to the great tapes and CDs that are out there. But if there's any comfort or reassurance, there are so many examples of people who found it frustrating in those early days. And you can compare it to Andrew rowing a boat. You know, I think I heard him say in the early days he started off rowing on cold winter's morning, and I think at one stage he actually fell out of the boat and the water was cold. And he had years of frustration before winning that gold medal. So if that's any comfort, our gold medal is something slightly more accessible and slightly easier to get than an Olympic gold medal. You can achieve success in utility warehouse by getting your level of utility warehouse fitness up, by practicing. Practice doesn't necessarily make perfect, it makes progress. Keep repeating, keep developing it. Go to these home meetings that Clive's just talked about. Come to the events that I mentioned as well, this burst that we're doing at the end of this month. We have 60 places. I've got a limited number of places left. Once it's filled, I'm going to put another one on. We're going to keep repeating them and repeating them and repeating them. But the bottom line is, if you actually are going to progress, you've got to actually be in it to win it. So you've got to come along to these events. And if you're not prepared to do that, then you're going to still be frustrated 12 months from now.
Okay.
As I say it, be in this business 12 months from now, but progress. Don't just sit around doing nothing. Go out there and try and develop your business, associate with all the fabulous people, understand you're not the only one who's got frustrations, but keep pushing forward. I just want to name drop, by the way, Clive and Diana, because I was in the company. I've mentioned Stephen Longworth. He was at the Vegas event. We had Mark and Angela D'Souza there. Now I know they have been on one of your webinars recently. I'm so massively impressed with those guys. They are just a phenomenal couple of senior group leaders. So impressive. And I saw them evolve and develop. And I thought, gosh, this is magical, just watching those guys develop. I mentioned Derek and Angela Thomas. You know, I would predict some of these senior group leaders, they're going to be national group leaders in not that big a distance. And it's going to be interesting to watch how they progress compared to other leaders. I'm sure that down to the Baltimore. Jane and Darren Turner. I had fabulous conversations with both of them, and I was privileged to be sitting in Gordon Ramsay's restaurant in Caesar's Palace on whatever night it was. And again, I'm name dropping because Gordon just went by, and I ignored him actually, but that was by the by, because I was in deep conversation with Jane, and I realised then I was no longer in deep conversation with Jane because Jane had gone and gone on to Gordon Ramsay. So I knew I hadn't got that much impact on Jane, but there we go. But yeah, these are senior group leaders, ladies and gentlemen, who are moving their businesses forward quite dramatically, and I will be interested to watch. And this is why don't just gauge my opinion, don't just gauge Clive and Diana's opinion. Seek out Angela, seek out Derek and Angela, seek out Jane and Darren, and ask their opinion on the Eric Worre Breakthrough Weekend.
That's fantastic. Now, we're coming towards the end of our time, and I'd like to call, if anybody would like to ask a question, there's actually one I've just seen from, here it is, it's from Steve Clough.
Hi, Robin.
Okay.
And
doesn't that say get off Robin?
No, it doesn't. It says, hi Robin, would you say that consistent effort is the key, accompanied by short bursts of intense activity?
Absolutely. I would agree wholeheartedly with you, Stephen, because I would say consistent effort, which is the slight edge principle. We've heard about that before. We've read about it. If you want to pick up on that, you know, Darren Hardy's the expert on that. But I also believe you blend that in. You link that in with surges, okay? And if you surge every now and then, and you can reflect back, it's something that if you analyse back, you speak to any of the leaders in this business, the people who have achieved, they will probably reflect back and say they've had a number of surges in their utility warehouse lifespan. And I myself have. I think that's again what happens is when you go to an event, it may be MAD, it may be Express Day, it may be an Eric Worre mastery event, it may be some other event, whatever your choice. And you come back and you say, do you know, I'm going to go for the next 90 days, I'm going to go for the next 30 days if you wish, I'm going to surge. And that's where consistent effort, absolutely, but every now and then push yourself, because most people function at 10% capacity. I function at times at 10% capacity. Cal will probably argue I function at a lot less than 10% capacity.
Yeah, I think Diana might agree with you when she talks about me. I would disagree, but she would probably.
Absolutely. Well, you know, not everybody can multitask. I try my best, but every now and then, you know, you come back with a zest, and you think, do you know, I'm not going to function at 10% capacity. I'm going to function at 90%, 100% capacity. And just watch the impact of functioning at that level. Going for, instead of doing for, you know, an hour or half an hour each day, I'm going to go for 10-hour days. And okay, that's not physically possible if you're working, but at a weekend I can go for 10-hour days if I wish.
Cool.
I can compromise, I can tell the family, I'm going to be at this, pushing it really hard for the next whatever a number of days and weeks. And I'm going to go for 90% capacity instead of 10%. So yes, surgeries are the way forward.
Thank you very much, Robin. I think, you know, Robin has made has talked about the Worre Breakthrough, and we have is it 3 places left, 3 spots left?
In December we can take 3 more people. Yeah.
Okay, and that,
if anybody wants to know,
that's going to be December
2nd to the December 5th.
Okay, so
and we will be there on that one.
Yeah, Diana will be there as well. But if you want to get hold of us to find out more detail about that, you've got our Facebook address up on there now. You can contact us through that. And from there on we can just send us a message and with your phone number, and we'll give you a call. The other thing that I wanted to talk to you guys about is that we've now got, I think, 50 people in our organization going to the GoPro Recruiting Mastery event in Las Vegas, which is on November the 23rd.
November the 20th through to November the 23rd.
I beg your pardon, 20th to 23rd. That is probably, not probably, it is the biggest networking event. It's completely different to the sort of experience that Robin has been describing. This is
It's a seminar.
Yeah, 4 days, isn't it, I think?
4 days, there's 8,000 people will be there.
8,000 is the biggest networking thing in history.
But
never has been so many numbers.
The thing that excites me, Clive, are the speakers.
Yeah, I've just actually written a list of this is the short list.
This is the short list. Yes.
Okay. There's a guy called Kevin Harrington going to speak. Now, for those of you in the UK, you won't know who the hell Kevin Harrington is, but if you can imagine Duncan Ballantyne and that good-looking guy that you like on Dragon's Den.
Jones.
Peter Jones.
Yeah.
You can imagine that roll into one, okay?
Yeah.
That will be Kevin Harrington. He's on a program called Shark Tank, which is the American spin-off of Dragon's Den. Robert and Ken Kiyosaki. Robert Kiyosaki wrote Rich Dad, Poor Dad. He's going to be speaking. Harry Dent, who's an economist and an author. Harry Dent's claim to fame, he's written some really deep economy type books, but his real big claim to fame is that he's the guy that forecasts the crash. You know, whenever he said no, he got it right. And another guy called Richard Brooke, who is the author of a great book called The 4-Year Career. Many of you watching this broadcast will have heard of Les Brown.
Oh,
and I'm really looking forward to see him speak. He's just phenomenal. And then on top of that, there's some $1 million earners. There's a guy called Jeff Roberti going to speak, who we actually know slightly.
Yeah.
Jeff's earning $250,000 a month. Yeah.
Been in the industry for 30 years, and the guy knows what he's talking about.
Yeah. And there's a young guy called Matt Morris, Alex Morton, he's also a young man. Jordan Adler, which Robin's met, author of Beach Money. A great friend of ours, Lisa Grossman, who has an enormous walk-away residual income. I mean, she's retired from the business, but is still kind of involved on a consultative basis. You know, she's a great lady. Tiffany Mallett, who's into social media. Mike Sims is a speaker that you really enjoy.
Yeah, really good guy.
Robert Hollis, Presley Swaggerty, Melody McFarlane, Brian Carruthers, the author of Building an Empire.
Brilliant book if you've not read it.
Yeah, it's a good book.
Very good book.
Thomas Tilland, and a guy called Jim Faubert. Jim is actually, he doesn't realize it, but he's actually responsible for me joining this industry. Isn't that something? Susan Sly, Donna Johnson, Tom Alcazin. Did you meet Tom, Robin, when you were in Vegas?
Yeah, Tom is another guy, an incredible guy. Very quietly spoken, very systematic, great family guy. I think, gosh, Clive, correct me if I'm wrong, but he's got his son involved in the business, daughter, I think.
Yeah.
Son-in-law, and between the 3-4 of them in the family, they earn over $7 million a year. He has a very simple system. He has a 3-pronged attack. He has a very simple process in terms of his business. Very much from an engineering background, so he sees everything. He looks at the end game plan, and then he kind of reverse engineers everything in a very simple process. Very good guy to listen to, and you'll find him easy listening as well. He's just a logical, systematic success story. A gracious guy, very gracious, that guy.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to meeting him, and of course Eric's doing a lot of training at this event.
Yeah, a huge amount.
There's another couple of speakers, I can't remember their names.
There's a British couple.
Old
It's the first
guy.
British people ever to speak at this event.
Specs and grey hair.
Yeah, and some young
name.
tart.
We're going to have a lot of fun with it. We really are.
Okay.
And I think it's interesting that it's not just people who are making a lot of money up on the stage in network marketing, but people who are making a lot of money who really, really edify the industry.
Yes.
That's what I'm looking forward to.
Yeah.
Successful people.
Yeah.
So
the other thing that I need to quickly mention is the January kickoff events. It's not that far away, and if you haven't got a ticket yet, it's called. So you really need to get a wriggle on and get those tickets booked. There is one event in particular. I mean, they're all going to be good. Don't get me wrong, but there's one which I really sort of kind of close to my heart because it's the very first one in the southwest of England. It's going to be in Exeter. It's going to be on Sunday, the 26th, I think it is, of January. And so if you know anybody in Devon or Cornwall, here's how you can use that. Even if you're in striking distance, of course, you can go. But what you can do is between now and then, as you're wandering around, and say to anybody, we're just expanding our business. We're looking for good people in Devon and Cornwall. Do you know anybody? And they're going to say, what's it about? Well, guess what? You can tell them. Yeah. So even if they don't know anybody in Devon or Cornwall, it's a great line to get somebody to take a look at the business anyway.
It's going to be a great event. Robin's going to be speaking, Clive's going to be speaking, Dave's going to be speaking.
Susan McKenzie, I think.
Susan's going to be speaking. So
and all of them have been through the Worre experience. So.
And then we've got Robin's event, which is Robin,
when's your event?
January.
Right on the 10th of January. It's a Saturday. Just so you know, Clive, I think there's only about 50 tickets left. So we're kind of getting to capacity. We've got Big Al, Tom Schreiter, who's going to be a guest speaker there, and a number of other notables. I think, we've got so many great events coming up. There's one in South Wales coming up on the 17th of January. That's a Saturday. I know that's a first again, Clive. There's never been one in Cardiff.
Cardiff,
As a kickoff event. So that's one that Derek Thomas and Imogen Sutton are running. So there's some great stuff, and then you've got obviously the Impact seminar in Manchester. I think that's the 11th of January, if I remember rightly, which is a Sunday.
Yep, 11th. We're going to be there.
We'll Diane and I will be there for that event as well.
That's going to be a huge event.
So we've got a lot.
You need to get your tickets now.
And now is a great time to start getting out there, not just gathering customers, which of course is critically important, but building a business. Okay. Gathering distributors. So we're going to finish off now. Thank you very much indeed, Robin. Our next broadcast is going to be in 2 weeks' time today. We're going to be going into some skills on that day with a panel of people who have been through the Worre experience. So I'm pretty sure that's going to be a real humdinger. What you need to do, if you've been watching this and you've got value from it, we hope you have, is spread the word. Tell your team members about this. Get them to come on to this Facebook page, this one here, and we can put them into that and make the library available to them. You can do that. You can just that one there. Okay. And this Facebook page is closed to our group, and everybody who applies for a friend is checked to make sure that we maintain the integrity of the organisation. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you have been, it will be goodbye from Robin Brooks. Say goodbye, Robin.
And goodbye from Clive and Diana.
And goodbye from her. Okay.
Goodbye from me.
Okay. So if you have been, thank you very much indeed for watching. Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye now.